As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Hey, shalom, shalom, peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings to the whole house of Israel. According to the book, the Father says that he is the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He also said he appeared before the three of those men, your ancestors. So I bid you all greetings, and I bid you all shalom, and I bid you all peace and blessings. And right now, I want to first and secondly and thirdly thank the Most High, our Father, thanking him for all that he's done for us as a people, and that he's bringing us back to restore us back to himself, not back to Buddha, not back to Mithra, but back to himself. And that's according to the book. That's what the book says, that he gonna bring us back. How y'all doing today? If you guys are doing excellent, great, and fantastic and fabulous, won't you throw a one up in the chat? And after I see some of the ones, I'm going to start greeting you all. And you all are having a great day, great evening, wherever you are. Peace and blessings to the brothers in Australia. Shout out to the brothers that are in Australia, the brother and sister Ralph Wolf and his wife that are in Australia. Shout out to the folks in the UK that jump on, and the folks in the Netherlands. We see you all. We see you, and the folks in the Philippines. We see all of you that log in and jump on according to what the analytics say. And it's a blessing to have people listen and come together with like minds so that we can do what? So that we can fellowship. So you guys know what today's topic is, but you know I can't go into today's topic without hollering at the family. So I got to start from the top down. Shalom and peace and blessings to everyone, starting with Yvette Rivera. Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Darnell Blackshear, peace and blessings to you, family. Optimal Training, peace and blessings to you, brother. Jason Philip McCauley, peace and blessings to you, brother. All praises to the Most High. Thank you. Brother Hal, how you doing, Brother Hal? Peace and blessings to you. Good to see you, brother. Brother T, how you doing, man? You know you need Jesus, man. You need to get saved. Brother T, you're not saved. You need to get saved. Peace and blessings to you, Brother T. Yahuwah's daughter of Zion. Shalom, sis. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. My sultry sounds. Peace and blessings. Sister, I told you, was that yesterday or today, that you need Jesus. You know you need Jesus. My sultry sounds. So you need to get off talking, having a conversation with the family and go get saved. According to what the Christians say, you need to be saved. Ty C. Rowland, peace and blessings to you, fam. Basora Messenger, peace and blessings to you. Born Bold, hey sis, how you doing? Peace and blessings to you. Smitty, what's good, brother? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Peace and blessings. Shalom, shalom. This is probably Brother Banya. If this is Brother Banya, shalom to you. Peace and blessings. If this is Brother E, peace and blessings to you also. So it looks like we got one. Yashadik, how you doing? Peace and blessings, my brother. How you doing? Hope all is well. Hope you haven't hurt nobody today. In your in your retirement. Lion Warrior for y'all. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Brother T. Brother T, you know you need Cesare. You know you need him. You might as well go find go find somebody that's got on one of them satanic crosses and bow down to them, right? They running around wearing a cross with some man they call Jesus on it. No, that's not right, because he done already left the cross. Book say he was hung on a tree anyway. That's according to the book. But we're not gonna get into that. So fam, looks like y'all doing well. I forgot to put my brother up. Hey brother E, how you doing? Hope all is well to you. We'll be dropping the link later on for everybody. And E, you know you welcome to jump on anytime. No reservations. Ask how you guys can jump in without any reservations at all. Any of y'all can jump in. Y'all just jump in, and you know how we do. We go get busy like how we always do. So the topic du jour and the topic of today is, and you know we switch it up, but the topic of today is, can an Israelite be a Christian? Can an Israelite be a Christian? So we know that that's the topic of the day. So let that resonate in your mind a little bit. And while you're doing that, I'm going to introduce our guest today. Our guest is a researcher extraordinaire, and I'll leave it at that. This brother right here, if you want to know something, and you want to get into the deep waters and not the surface waters, the brother that we got on board, Dorval, that's who you want to rock out with. Dorval, unmute your mic and greet the family.
Greetings, family. Greetings, family. I'm going to put my camera on just for a moment so everybody can see, because I don't want to get confused with being a young man, because most people think I'm a young man when they hear me speak. I'm a bit of an older gentleman. So put my, so you see all these gray hairs I got, yeah, that's from living. So I'm just going to go into a little bit about myself and how I came into the truth.
Brother, go ahead and rock out. That was my first question, as we discussed. Okay. How did you come into the truth? That's what we ask a lot of people when they jump on. So that's good intel for the family.
Right. Well, about 4 years ago, I had a strange relationship with my son for a long time, and the father knew that he could never reach me until that was mended. So in a period in that time, he had my son to finally reach out to me, and we mended our relationship. Late one night, I was sleeping, and just out of nowhere, I heard a voice. The voice said, "Wake up." And I'm in one of these sleeps that, I don't normally go to sleep really easy. Sometimes, I usually, take me a while to fall asleep sometimes. But this night, I just happened to go to sleep really easy. And I heard the voice said, "Wake up." And I was totally alert. I wasn't drowsy, and I said to myself, "Did that really happen?" And the voice said, "Yeah, this is really happening." I said, "I'm not tripping." And the voice said, "No, you're not tripping." I said, "Is this really for real?" The voice said, "This is for real." A voice said, "Grab your Bible." I said, well, this is strange. I'm going to be obedient because this is like, and my wife is knocked out sleep next to me, right? She's asleep. And so I get up and grab my Bible. The voice said, what I want you to do is just go to the first book of the Bible. And I said, okay. I said, this is really strange, but I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to do exactly what you said because this is like something I haven't experienced before. So it said, just read. So he said, read Genesis 1. So I said, and I started reading. I said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Said, keep going. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. He said, keep going. And God said, let there be light. And he said, stop.
That's it? He didn't tell you to go no further? We may have lost the brother. That was a awesome point to stop. So as soon as we get the brother back, we'll continue in and get his story because he's going to have some awesome information for us.
Are you still there?
Yeah, we still here.
Okay. All right. So as you know, that's in that part of the verse is quoted, has quotation marks. Let there be light. God said, let there be light. So in those quotation marks is when he stops and starts speaking. So everything else before and after, he did not say. And that was such an epiphany to me. That blew my mind. So if we really sit back and think about that, that is mind blowing. So everything else you're reading in there, I did not say. Where you see the quotations where I started and where I stopped. And we have days and nights for eons. So he don't need to keep speaking after he says something once. He don't need to keep speaking.
That's real talk. So after he said that to you, was there a moment where it was specifically that you said, "Hey, this book is not necessarily how I've been shown"? Was that the moment for you? Based on training. So based on whether it be seminary training or going to church, was that the moment that hit you where it was like, okay, something's off or something's not right? I need to research. And we'll wait for the brother to come back on. In the meantime, family, if you would please, for the algorithm's sake, hit the like button. Don't forget to share and do those things. So when the brother comes back on, we'll allow him to continue his story on how he became into the knowledge of being Israel. So I'm gonna ask the family, brother, you back?
Am I back?
Okay,
Okay.
you back. You
Okay.
were out. So were you able to hear the question that I asked you?
No, I didn't hear the.
Okay, so I said, okay, so that moment right there, was that the moment where you looked at the Bible and said, okay, everything in this book is different. I need to really research.
Yes. That's
Okay.
when I realized that how we're taught to look at words and the etymology is so important. Uh, when during I'm not proficient at Hebrew or anything, but I did take a few classes just to get a vague realization of the letters and the relationship of the letters. But as I started looking at how a lot of the the African languages has all that in there. So that language can't be the original language because that language wasn't created until Phoenicians, it's coming out of Phoenician, which is, if you want to, most scholars say Phoenician is only at the most 8,000. Some of them put it as 8,000 BC. Some, sooner. So the language is not even the language that we have that we're calling even Paleo Hebrew will still be a dialect, and still I would say is not that first language. Now I know it may rub some people wrong way, but if you start studying and you start reading various things, you'll come to see some of the stuff is not being actually truthfully talked about, even with the scholars. Because it's a book that I would love. I sent you the email earlier today. If you could pull that up, it's a book that's very, very influential, I think, to help people grasp easily languages. And this particular scholar, oh man, he breaks it down and makes it so easy to really grasp where language is more than likely developed from. Because most people are saying that the language would have developed in the Niger Congo area. Languages, period. Most scholars, even the Eric, he's one of the most influential linguists today. He's saying that language would have originated in the Niger Congo area. That would be the origination. So, and they're putting language about 100,000 years, possibly, maybe some scholars say a little earlier. Let's see. This is you have so many variations with scholars on some point. Sometimes none of them really agree on everything. So you have to take a guesstimation. Okay. So you say 100,000, 50, 60. So you try to find a sweet spot, in between spot, because we were not actual witnesses to any of these events. So we have to kind of allow some room for, to adjust and not be so, because a lot of times we try to deal in absolutes. We can never really have an absolute answer to everything. So we just have to really go by our inner man, our instinct. That's what your inner man is for. That's why the Father said the kingdom is in you. You don't need anything else but what's already in you to develop you. We tend to want to gravitate toward people. And when you gravitate toward people, you put them on pedestals. And that's a natural human thing. It occurs. That's why, the whole word for the pastor being on that place in the front that they call what is that called again? The what is that called? What the pastor's on that?
The pew?
No, the pews is where the people sit.
Okay. I'm gonna be quiet, not say anything because I'm drawing a blank. The podium?
Pews. Where's that?
The podium.
Right. Well, let's say podium. I can't remember the other. They use another word for it. I can't remember.
There we go.
What is it?
The pulpit.
Pulpit. Good. There you go. Pulpit. Yeah. The pulpit. See,
daily dedication. You, Real Morgan, need to get saved. Right. All y'all that said pulpit, all y'all need to be.
Thank you.
I'm telling you right now. I haven't said that or thought about that in eons, man.
Yeah, I'm saying I haven't thought about it in a while either.
Man, talking about the podium like he Trump or something.
But no, podium is good still, because all of that is all that means is you're somebody's above everybody else, because that's what the podium does, or pulpit does. It puts you above, and you always remember when you go there, you got to step up to where he's at. Why is that? See, that's a mental play right there, that you're not like everybody else. I got to step up to where you are. See what I'm saying? See, that's a mental game right there. That's a trap. And we got to be, see, and words are traps. I don't use the word witchcraft so much anymore. I use the word wordcraft, because words are being crafted to have you to believe someone else's delusion.
You spot on with that. I remember when my father crossed over, and mind you that I'm not going to get into that, but when he crossed over, you know how they put the casket in front of the pulpit,
Right.
but they won't allow commoners like myself go up and touch and be on the pulpit. They would
Right.
like get really bent out of shape. That's like the tabernacle to them. That's like the holy of holies.
Yeah.
So all right. So when did you? And I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, then we're gonna get into the topic of discussion. When did you have the aha moment when that you determined, or that you discovered in your research, that we were the people of the book?
Man, the aha moment when we discovered the people, oh man, that's a good question. I'm going to, just to rewind a little bit further back, when I was a teenager.
Okay.
And what I hear a lot of, it's not only my particular experience. I hear other people's who in the awakening had the same experience too. They relate the same thing, is that there was always something about what you were being taught that just didn't seem right. Like, I knew his name was never Jesus because it just never sat right with me. I said, that's not his name. If we could say his name, why are we using a different name? So we always had something within Christianity, which is Cretinism. That's what I call it, because that's what the etymology says the word is. And when you look up Cretinism, it means someone who's an idiot and who's mentally, deformed mentally, because you could be a idiot and not be deformed mentally, but that's what it means. You're deformed mentally. So you could become, through being brainwashed, undeformed mentally. So,
Which is the reality of Christianity. That's their
thank
whole
you.
reality.
Thank you. That's it. Right. So they're being, they mentally deformed. That's why I say I don't get into, you know, battles of the words with people, because people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. And like I gave with my visitation, if you were chosen, that's all that matters. I don't need to have you to believe what I say. It would be beneficial to you if you did, but that's on you and him, because he didn't choose you to hear his voice. He chose me, which I'm extremely happy that he did chose me, because like I said, I know most of us didn't care if we lived the next day, or was kind of hoping for death, to come. So we didn't have to keep living this existence anymore, because it's quite painful. It can be quite painful. It could be quite troublesome. But I'm glad he had the the you know to allow me to take part in that grace that he has, and just because he's done so many marvelous things for me. I can't even, I can't even, you know, I can't even explain. I can explain, but I don't want to make this about that, because that's a whole different, that's a whole different thing here. But what I really want to do is just to impress upon our people is, and like I said, if we really spend time into etymology, and don't be a lazy person. Etymology is great. One of the best tools I use for etymology is Wiktionary. It's yeah, it's by Wikipedia, but it's their etymological tool, and it has a lot of valuable information in there. It's one of the best. I don't even use Etymon online that much, because Wiktionary has more older resources that it uses and that it highlights on. Because when you're doing etymology, what you want to do is always try to find the first occurrence of the word and the meaning of that word. So when you go back and you look up like words like I was saying earlier today, if you look up the word "see," and we think it's such a mundane word, but when you look up you go to Etymon online and you look up what the meaning of the word "see" is. The meaning of the word "see" is "behold the throne." And that when the Father had me to look up that etymology of that word, it blew my mind. I'm like, wow, Father, you are just so amazing.
Wow. So fam, the jewels that he's dropping in terms of your research, he keeps saying the same thing, and he said it a few times now. So hopefully, family, that resonates with you, because you know how your big brother C does you. He keeps hitting you over the head with the same thing, and I know y'all gonna say, man, I'm tired of him. Can y'all please get somebody else, because this brother's worrying me to death with this about us doing works, this, that, and the third. We're not gonna talk about doing the work today. This is about Christianity. So okay, so brother, I appreciate you giving us that information, and hopefully through time, because what I'm hoping that this will be a continuous build with us and yourself, that we continue to hear from you and you continue to chime in, because fam, I've seen the brother's research via email, and matter of fact, I created a separate label for him so that everything that we get from him goes into one section. The brother got some. I mean, the books that he gave you is like, I had to tell him. I said, bro, this is too much. It's too much information, man. Because I went into one book, start reading one book, and that took you down another rabbit hole, which takes you down 10 or 15 other different rabbit holes, and then you wake up. It's 10 hours later, your day is over with. It's time for you to eat dinner. Your wife mad at you because you've been staring at the computer all day. So I do want to make a comment about Wikipedia, though. Wikipedia gets a bad rap, but Wikipedia is a great resource for information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, because we are going to get into this today's question, right? And as usual, it's a question to the family. The family can jump in at any time. The family can give precepts, because I'm not going to give you now precept to support any argument or anything that I'm talking about. That's up for you guys to do if you guys want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to get into Wikipedia, right? So, and the reason why I said Wikipedia is that when you get down to the bottom of it, they give you all of these resources from the different books and whatnot. So people downplay Wikipedia like it's a joke, but I mean, look at all these references. You'll spend, and this is just on Christianity, right? You'll spend a good deal of your time on the earth just trying to understand what this pagan religion called Christianity is. So let's get into it. I
Hey,
did
brother, before
Wikipedia.
you start,
Go ahead,
can I,
bro.
can I ask you to show that? I just sent you an email probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. If you could just show that one book that I
Okay, let
told
me,
you.
it's gonna take me some time to log in because I'm not on that
Okay.
computer. That's the computer in the office, but I can get to it.
Okay.
So let me do that. Just give me a minute, fam. You guys can rock out, listen to the groovy tunes while I get to the email. All right, just give me a minute. And if you guys didn't hit that like button, you guys know the algorithm love y'all for doing that. And if you guys don't tell grandmama that they talking about Christianity, they talking about Christianity being pagan, so that she won't throw a shoe at you or something, right? Okay, so I'm on the computer. Let me get it. Give me a minute. Let's go to that one here. Okay, I'm on that computer. Let me see here. You get the internet up. Y'all bear with me for a minute. Relax. All right, let's see here. I can't see my email on this machine. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay.
Now, family,
Okay, resource about language.
yeah, it's the book is called. I hope you pulling up the right email, but the book is called Deciphering the English Code: The Untold History of the Words We Speak by
There we go. I
Joseph.
think we got it.
Okay. Family, this book is very, very easy to really grasp what language is and what it ain't. You know, a lot of the time they try to mystify you that languages aren't connected. That's a lie. All languages, we only got one air. The air in China isn't different from the air you breathe in here in America. So the languages aren't different. They're different dialects. You know, that's why I basically say dialects now. I don't even like to call them different languages. They're all just different dialects because it's only still one language because you can.
You still there, bro? Sound like you broke up. Fam, can you guys see this link? I'm gonna drop this link in the chat.
Yeah, it's all language is just one, comes from one source, and they can basically trace it back. You know, it's just like DNA. You can trace it back. Okay, and this book makes it very easy to grasp where it's coming from, how it originated, because languages originated as a body language first, as signs first, before spoken word. And this book, this author really nails it. He nails it. And once you read it, you won't look at this stuff the same way anymore. You won't believe the lies that they're telling you about words. You have to know what the words mean. You have to know meanings of words because they change the definition. You have to. That's the biggest problem, and that's what the scriptures talk about. Our people die because they don't know what words mean that they're saying out of their mouths,
Mm.
and the power behind them.
Okay, so I'm gonna drop it in the chat. Whoa, am I echoing? Let's go back to that. All right, fam. So thanks for that. Thanks for that information, brother Dorville. Okay, so we're talking about, can an Israelite be a Christian? So to help frame that question, I wanted to look at the phrase Christianity so that we can ask this question in context. Christianity is, quote, I put this in quote, an Abrahamic monotheistic religion. And I'm going to skip down all of the gibberish and I'm going to go down to right here. With about 2.5 billion followers, or they should say adherents, because they supposedly adhere to this, but we know what it really is. So it's 2.5 billion followers in 157 countries and territories over the earth, with 7.5 billion people on the earth. Now, 2.5 billion means that it's probably, and I read somewhere, one of my links tell you that it's the largest, quote, religion on the earth right now. And a lot of that was propagated through the different conquests over time, right? Because it just didn't happen by happenstance. Now, a common theme is that when the conqueror conquered, he pushed Christianity on you. Mind you, that the book says they were first called Christians in Antioch. And we know, family, what they called them. It was synonymous to being the N word, but I digress. I'm not going to get into that right now. So that's Christianity, and that's what it is. And you have Western branches and you also have Eastern branches. Some want to say that the Eastern Orthodox is more authentic than the Western, and to me they both the same. There's no difference between if you say Eastern or Western, because they all gonna have all this techno babble that they into, where you need to get saved and you're not saved. But what they leave out is the fact that, okay, we don't have to go by the Old Testament. We don't believe in that. We only go by the New Testament, right? Because they say, oh, we're under the new covenant, so we only go by the New Testament. Meanwhile, everything that points to the Old Testament, they use it as themselves, as if it's them, which we know what that's called. That's called replacement theology. So another point I want to make, and then I'm gonna let you guys have at it, is this number right here. The list of Christianity denominations by number. So this is another interesting thing where they give you the list of how many people are in Christianity, and then it gives you a breakdown of how many Protestants, Anglicans, Baptists, Lutherans, Reformed, Christian, Calvinists. What they don't say here is that how many of these people hated the Israelites as they were building their church. They don't mention that. Some of the biggest haters of our people have always been the Catholics. How long has Rome been persecuting Israelites? 70 AD? Is that the number, or was it even before that? Lutheranism. Calvin was a known racist. The Quakers. You thought Quakers was just for Quaker Oats, or it was just those what's them people, those Amish? I think they look like Quakers. I don't know if they're Quakers or not. Look at all of this foolishness in all the different places all over the earth where they are, right? So that'll give you some context. And so I think I got one more I'm going to show y'all, and then I'm going to cut loose and ask some other questions. But take a look at this. You guys always hear me quoting 45,000 different denominations, right? So they ask the same question too. Honestly, why does Christianity have so many denominations? There are more than 45,000 denominations globally. I'm going to stop reading. I'm not even going to read nothing else. I'm done reading. I'm done reading and I'm done sharing my screen. Stop sharing. So, family, I'm going to go back to the question. The question is, can an Israelite be a Christian? Now, last part I'm going to set what context is. Israelite, according to the book, is a people that has a heritage, culture, and father. Christianity is a religion. So, a couple of questions. Can you mesh a religion with your heritage? And then the next question is, why would you want to? Why would you want to be a carbon copy or an imposter? Because you're appropriating the whole book to something that's not even, that was made up by the heathens. Another question. Can you separate the conquest, the hatred, the slavery, and all of the heinous acts that these people have been doing since they came into power up until this point? Can you separate that from their religion and rightfully, and then still be able to rightfully quote divide? Another question. Can that same heathen who mashed on your ancestors be your brother? So I'm done, bro. What you think, Dor? You can jump in, bro, anytime. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I'm done. I'm waiting for the family to chime in. I'll put the questions out there, and I have other questions too, fam. But y'all can jump in. Anybody want to jump in on the chat and respond to that? You're more than welcome to jump in. We got some comments here. So, brother L, Dor L, you can go ahead and chime in, bro.
Well, my personal, like I said, when we really study etymology, a cat is a cat and a dog is a dog. They ain't the same. So, oil and water don't mix. So that's how I see it. And I get that from, like I said, when you study etymology and you start looking at really breaking words down that they're telling you, you come up with a whole different paradigm, a whole different mindset.
Indeed, you do. And knowing that you're an Israelite, that adds to the mindset. But in a lot of cases, it adds to the thirst and hunger of being able to decode and deconstruct all the lies you've been taught from Christianity. So, brother, I hope I pronounce your name right. Yaram Ben Israel says no. Why, bro? Some people think you can. Some Israelites believe that you can mash some of the paganistic things, which is all the whole lot of Christianity is pagan, as we know. But they believe that you can mesh that with your culture. Well, Sister Bombo says the Most High never gave Israel a religion. That's correct. We never needed one. We had Him. Why would we need religion? Religion is for folks can jump on the bandwagon and claim that they the people of the book when they're not. And I'm not the one that said I would yet choose Israel. I didn't say that. He said that. So now the question becomes, why did he say that? Why did he say that to them? Royal Street said Genesis 11, 1 and 9, Acts 2, 1 and 8. I previously brought out of the book referencing that all languages are the same. Khan. Yeah, the brother not pulling any punches with the wisdom and knowledge that he has, that's for sure. Real Morgan says they murdered our people all over this earth, all in the name of Jesus. Now, I'm gonna point to the brother on this one again because we did a we did a lesson on Red Summer, right? And when we think about our plight, we always think about what happened to us here in America. But the brother pointed out, Dorville pointed out, hey, you know what, bro? Not only did it go on in America at that same time, this was happening in the UK too. And he shot me a book, and I was like, hey, bro, you know, you're right. This was like a world war that was unspoken of against our people. And I know the brother at We Woke Now, Pastor Kelly, he always uses that vernacular when he's talking about that whole event. Brother, you can go ahead and chime in, Dor, if you need to. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I just want to bring an interesting perspective about that word Jesus, because when you actually break it down, see, a lot of people say it means earth pig, but I found a whole different, uh, which is more relevant actually, a whole different meaning. Uh, we know that if you look at JE and GE, that means that's short for earth, but the SUS part, if you go to Edimon online just right now, you go to Edimon online and you pull up SUS, the suffix of SUS, it tells you that the suffix of SUS is actually sub, for below. So now we look at the GE and JE being earth and the SUS being below. So now we're talking about below earth. This is what this name is saying, below earth. So every time I call upon that name, I'm calling below earth. That's not where I want to be. Now, if you want to be there, that's on you, but I don't want to be there.
That's a awesome breakdown using etymology, brother. What you think about this comment right here from Julian Clark? Christians would be considered converts. Note the laws was only given to the Israelites. None of the prophets and disciples called themselves Christians. And that's a point I always make.
Yeah.
There's nobody, and Mashiach never calls himself a Christian either.
No.
Nobody ever called himself that. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that word, as I keep, as I've said, that's what we don't tend to, and it's not, we don't know, we didn't know, you know, some people knew, but they didn't really share it, or they shared it within their own community. Let's say the Moors and stuff, those people, they have etymology studies on lock. I put into the chat a basic course that that a Moorish brother does. I suggest you read it. It gives you some basic comprehension on etymology and how it works. It's just a tool. Now, I don't agree with the rest of what they believe in, but how they teach is something to take note of. And they do a very good teaching on basic understanding of etymology. And we should really take a look at that video and really grasp those nuggets that he has in there.
This link that I drop in there, fam, is a link to the video that the brother's mentioning. So you click on that link and you can get the wisdom and knowledge that comes out of that. And brother, repeat that disclaimer again about you not really believing all of what they're saying, but just their approach, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with their standpoint as far as their take on the noble Drew Ali and all that stuff. I don't agree with all that stuff, but I do agree with that they do teach, and they teach some good sound lessons. Not as far as that sovereign citizenship stuff either. I don't agree with that either, because that's been tested in a lot of court cases and it doesn't pan out. So, but as far as the etymology, I hear they do some mathematics stuff as well. Those types of things I can rock with them with, but This is what life is about. Life is about being able to sift the truth from the lie. So that's our job. We're sifters, and we're supposed to be able to separate the two.
Okay, so bro, how do you read this comment by Julian Clark? Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Orishas, IFA, Vodun, Islam, dash Christianity and Islam were directly and indirectly financed by the Roman Catholic. What say you, bro?
I don't agree with that person.
Okay.
I
Speak
don't
your
agree
mind
with.
on it.
I don't agree with. I can agree with the Christianity, Judaism. Buddhism is older than Christianity. I know for sure. Uh, I don't. With Buddhism, it's kind of it's old. I'm not really exactly sure how old, but it's running somewhere in the BC time as well, along with Judaism. So that's before this other group that he's Roman Catholic existed. So how can they be involved in something that they didn't even exist at the time when these you know other ones were around? So and Orishas, they were around long before them as well. Vondun, that was around way before you know Roman Catholics as well. So you're off base there.
Okay, so let's look at the next comment. The Ralph, hey Ralph, how you doing, brother? Hope all is well. Hope you staying out the way of the mice and the rat plagues and all the other plagues that they got in Australia. Also the floods or whatever else is going on. I know the Most High has been protecting you. So from the Ralph Wolf, from day one, Christianity was the Catholic pagan church who tortured and killed our people to join Christianity. Yeah, you know what's funny is they booted them out of Spain, and when they booted our people out of Spain, what were our people called? Were they calling themselves Christian then?
Man,
I'm asking for a friend. My homie want to know that's sitting next to me, which
yeah.
is invisible. I got an invisible friend that I talk to. So I mean, and so being able to merge your heritage and culture with a religion that destroyed your people. When are you going to separate what they did to your people and say that, okay, they've got 2.5 billion adherents, they've got 45,000 different denominations. How could there be any right in this? Where's the right at? And how come the people that adhere to this are mostly phonies? How is that? Because the brother came on, was that last night? I'm not gonna bring up last night how a brother came on that used to be a part of a church. I hope he's here now. He can chime in if he wants to. Um, let's see here, brother Kadar. Christianity is so fake, it's so white. Well, you know what, and that includes black Christianity because the so-called black church got all their tenets from white Euro, what we call white Eurocentric Christianity. Name me one original tenet that came to the black church that they said, "Oh yeah, outside of the we're gonna wait on the sweet by and by," because the heathen never had to wait on the sweet by and by. You did because you adhered to their slavery mindset tenets of that wicked religion called Christianity. So name me one tenet that came from the so-called black church that you can hang on the wall and say next to the Ten Commandments. And say, okay, yeah, that's a tenet that the Father gave the black church. Like how he gave America and he blessed America. So and America is a Christian nation. And the Mayflower Compact to prove it.
Well, a lot of that as well is see we don't realize that we are involved in every damnable thing that has happened to us.
Say
Most
that again,
people,
bro. I don't think they hurt you in the back row. Say that again.
we are involved in every damnable thing that has happened to us.
Explain that, please.
Constantine was not a pale man. And I tend, let's get some, because I don't like using black. If anything, I like using NRG because that's what we are. They use NGR, but this is what I say when you're dealing with people. That's why I say it's so important that you deal with etymology. The order of the letters do not matter. The energy is still the same. So NRG is NGR. Same thing. It means the same. It didn't change. They just changed the order of the letters. It's like they used to spell bake BAC, but now we spell it BAKE. But it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So once you start realizing, you seeing these word tricks that they play too, because they tell you that language has rules, but they choose to they choose when they want to follow the rules and choose when they don't want to follow the rules. Because just like in Hebrew, they tell you that the H is supposed to be a silent letter, but I hear everybody saying H is everywhere. Like, man, I thought it's supposed to be a silent letter.
Hey, bro. Now, okay, so now you just bring up one reason why I hate the English language, because it's kind of dumb to me. And here's where it's kind of dumb. I'll use there. They got there, they are, and there, and all of them kind of mean the same thing, but mean different things. Why can't you have one word that just mean what it means? It doesn't. That never made sense to me. And I know how to use them finally in a sentence, but it's stupid how you construct it. And then you
The
got the
problem
ancient
is,
hair.
you know what the problem is?
But
Lawyers.
oh,
That's
there
the
we
problem.
go. There we go.
Lawyers, they have created ways to circumvent, because see, all language was created based upon legal ease. That's what they needed language for. They did the symbols. That's why they got away from the symbols, because they needed language, written words, and you look at it, Latin is a language of law, they say, but it's actually lawlessness. It's not really law.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
lawlessness. But
Exactly.
it's based upon that. So lawyers are were needed to create ways or loopholes, as they say, around laws. There's always a loophole. The system was created for loopholes, so they always find a way to have a loophole over a law.
Okay, bro. Look at this comment from Rio Morgan, because you're absolutely correct with the law, which is why we can go on the law, but we're always dissuaded not to go into that, because that's really the code book to decode their whole system, right? That's one way in. Take a look at this comment from Real Morgan. Satan always gives you the fake alternative, a fake people, a fake religion, a fake eternal metaverse life. Man, he's sick. Slick. What you say about that, bro?
Oh yeah, right. That's so true. Everything is the counter of the truth. But you're gonna have some truth in there in order to, make it appealing.
So basically, what he'll do is he'll put a little bit of bait on the hook, get you hooked, and then next thing you know, you in something damnable that's going sink you to hell.
Yep. But as I was saying, so Constantine was actually a black man. If you don't believe me, don't believe the fake. Look up the words. The words say he was swarthy or ruddy colored. Ruddy. If you look, and this is the thing, the trick that they get you with today, is they'll tell you, oh, white people can be ruddy. Look up what ruddy looks like on animals. This is how you separate the truth from the lie,
Mm.
because people named stuff after what they looked like. So you show me a white ruddy horse. A ruddy means, when you look up horse that's ruddy, he's going to be a brownish red. You don't see no white at all.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
period. So always look at how if you want to determine how a color is, like let's say olive. My wife today, I had to tell her, no, that person was not olive, honey. Olive only comes in two colors that is close to humans, is black and brown. Okay, so when they saying olive skin, they're not talking about a green person. Olives only they're black and brown. Those
Right.
are the skin types of people. You don't see any olive colored person. That's why I say look at either fruit or animals when you want to get the real definition of these terms of color, like ruddy and swarthy. You look up a swarthy horse, he's going to look like Black Beauty, the Black Beauty horse. He's going to be dark as heck. Look up a tawny horse, he's going to be brown or black, or brown is black. You look up sable, he's going to be a brown to go into black. So these terms they really try to get you. That's why you have to think outside of the box sometimes, because they try to trick you. That's why I say it's word craft, because they're crafting the word to fool you, to make you believe their illusion and not the truth.
Yeah, that's pretty common with them though, because and they have their reasons why they want to keep us from the truth. Real Morgan has another interesting comment. They told us all we needed was Christ, yet they still hung and cut off our body parts right after church service. Is that reminiscent of that whole picnicking thing, Real Morgan, that you're talking about, where they hung our people up as sport and as spectacle? Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's more than likely related to that.
that's real interesting. And to further on the topic of Constantine, most of those bishops were melanated people. They weren't pale. So, and the high, if you read about it, the highest one that was, I can't remember his name, but if you get into it and you read about it, the one that did not agree with him, he ended up murdering, actually, but he was one of the most powerfulest ones, and he was from the continent of Africa, who was disagreeing with Constantine about what he was trying to do and how he was trying to make this Jesus figure the all in all, because they didn't agree with him. That was for them to codify this Jesus figure, to get together to codify, because he was actually trying, if you read about it, he was trying to get people to absolve him of his sins of sleeping with his mama, killing his brother. He was trying to get them, and actually he had leprosy. If you read about it, he had leprosy, so he was probably turning to a paler complexion, you know, because of all of the evils that he was doing. So it's interesting when you actually read a lot of this historical stuff that you could find out.
My sultry sound echoes exactly what we know and exactly what you said. Ruddy cow, ruddy duck, reddish rich brown. If you look at the pictures and you Google the word ruddy, it doesn't mean a white person whose blood has shone forth through their skin or whatever foolishness because they blush. That's foolishness.
Right.
Let's see here. Julian Clark, understanding the scriptures is only granted by the Spirit. Khan.
Correct. And we need to stop looking for people to do this. This is our biggest problem. We're trying to put somebody, if the scripture says, hey, I'm going to send somebody that's going to show you and lead you in truth. Why are we looking for a man when he said it's going to be the Ruach that does that? But we're always looking for a man to do it. You're violating the code right there. You're in violation. And then you're wondering why things are happening not in your favor, because you're already violating part of the code.
We not called sheep for no reason.
No.
I'll leave that where it is. Big Red, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Hope all is well. You're gonna have to come on again, man, to keep me in line. I need some help with my technology too, by the way. Hope you're well. It's good seeing you, brother. So here's what we're gonna do, fam. We're gonna take a break for a minute, and I'm gonna go get refreshed. I'm gonna turn the groovy tunes on for y'all, and I'm gonna break it, and we're gonna come back. And I got some more questions to ask y'all about this whole Christianity thing. We're just not really getting started. So I got some more questions for y'all, but the main question is this: can an Israelite be a Christian? And I'll be right back in about a couple of minutes. All right, fam? Fam, if you haven't hit that like button and the subscribe button, you know what you need to do for the algorithm to help out the family so that more family members can come in fellowship where you know that you get love. Because we love our family and we're not doing nothing for money, and y'all know that. We haven't charged nobody one nickel. That's not our call. That's not our call. All right, fam, we back. Hope y'all went and got some good refreshments and got yourself refreshed and whatnot. So I have some other questions that kind of center around the main question or the main topic of today. But before I ask, I'm going to welcome my brother Yashadiq And I'm going to also welcome my
So
brother
I have some other
Scale.
questions
Shalom.
that kind of center around the main question or the main topic of today. But before I
So you
ask
speak it out, bro.
brother Yashadi, and I'm going to also welcome my
So
brother.
thanks a lot on that, bro. Brother Kadar, brother Yash, how y'all doing today? How's it going?
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Peace and blessings to you, brothers. How you brothers doing?
Pretty good. I want to come on here for a second. And the question you asked, can a Israelite still be a Christian
Yes, sir.
and be an Israelite? Well, when you look at the scriptures and when you look at what the book of Baruch said in Baruch chapter 2, verse 30, it says that talking about us, the Israelites, will wake up in the land of our captivity and we will seek the statute, laws, and commandments. We're going back to our heritage. So, no, because Christianity has a European heritage, Israel has their own heritage. We waking up to who we are as a people. We getting back to our heritage, statute, laws, commandments. Christianity is totally different. So when you mix the two, you just can't do that, Now, and also we know it's a religion. It's just like Islam or any other religion. We need to come out of that according to Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. Come out of her. That's what it's telling us to do. To know, I definitely we can't do that.
Thanks for bringing that precepts, bro. Because when I do the show, I try not to do that. I'll let you guys bring that to the family, bring those precepts, and of course we all can. But it's good to see it in the chat, and it's good for my fellow swordsmen to bring those on as well. Brother Yashadik, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great, brother Clay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Go ahead
Here's
and lace our boots up right quick.
here's my take. First of all, I was gonna say, well, I tried it and I couldn't do it. So, in the Most High is no respecter of persons. So if I couldn't do it, no one else can. But the real answer would be coming from, unless you were born, I can't even say like you were coming from being blinded, or I guess from darkness into the light. And finding out, once you find out that you're an Israelite, if you came from Christianity, you realize that you've been lied to. And how can you continue to follow after something that had misled you? You know what I'm so it's like almost impossible. The reason why people hold on, I put it in the comments earlier, because it's spiritism wrapped in spirituality. So you try to spiritualize your way or into it gives into your reasoning to hold on, because you're not letting go of anything. Like I remember when we used to invite these Jews for Jesus,
Hmm.
and they used to explain, and it was funny, but anyway, but they used to explain that being once you became once if you was a Jew and you
Brother, I just want to, if I could just add, and you can continue.
uh-huh
It's a club. People like clubs.
right,
Hmm.
yeah, well, there you go, it's a club, yeah, but one of the things that the Jews for Jesus used to say, being a Jew for Jesus, I mean, once you being a Jew for Jesus doesn't make you a Christian, it makes you more of a Jew. Now, the Christians had no problem with that. But when you find out now that we are the true Hebrews of the Bible, now all of a sudden it's a problem. We can't say, well, we still believe in the Messiah, but we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. With them, they're able to keep their laws, keep our laws rather, and get no criticism. But once one of us say it, we get all condemned, saying we're Judaizers, we're I forget all the terms we used to call them now. But the bottom line is now it's a problem when we try to keep the law. And that goes back to why I said it was spiritism wrapped in spirituality, because there's a wicked and evil spirit behind it that would cause you to break the law and then cause law breakers to keep it.
I got another question on top of the question.
Before you go to the next question, the father just busted me with something. Now, I said club, not really realizing everything that was involved in it. But when we used to go to the club, what did we do? We dressed up in our Sunday best, made sure our cars was clean, just like we going to church, huh? Just like the club. It's a club.
Hey, and even on top of that, I was thinking of this earlier today. As far as that, because it was like you go there, you get to listen to some free band music, or you pay your 10% or whatever. You get to sit down, listen to some free music, rock out for a little while.
Okay, family, y'all keep dropping them precepts in there. I haven't been reading them because the brothers have been giving some good information. Revelation 17 is all about religion. Yes, come out of her. Revelation 18:4. Okay, that's a perfect segue into my question right there. Thank you, Messenger Messenger. So here's the next question, family, that builds onto that last question. What prophecies have Christians fulfilled? Has Christians fulfilled any prophecies? Go ahead, bro.
Christianity fulfilled?
Yes.
Let me pull it up. It's in Revelations. I don't know exactly which one it is. I got to pull it up.
I'll say being the beast.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, say that again, bro.
Being the beast.
Okay, that's absolutely correct. Okay, here's what we gonna do. We gonna do this. Okay, I'm looking for one in particular.
I got it.
And the brother or sister that could bring me that one that I'm looking for, I got a cash app or something for them. I'm looking for one in particular, and we'll say, I don't know, $25 cash app. You tell me the one I'm looking for in particular. What prophecies have Christians fulfilled? If somebody hit me with that one, man, I got a $25 cash out for you. So my brother said the beast.
Revelation,
you in, right? Go back there.
Revelation
says none. And Calvin, you're right. They haven't fulfilled any that they say that they fulfilled, because they're always misquoting Revelations. Like, for instance, the Christians are always saying that they're coming to kill us. They're coming to kill us. Oh yeah, they're going to kill us in the tribulation. They're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. And nobody been hurting Christians. Christians been the one killing everybody on the earth since time immemorial. Since I know. Who been controlling the whole earth since we've been here? Now forget about our ancestors for a second. Who's been controlling the earth since we've been here? Since I've been here, we've been under the thumb of somebody, and it's not me. Okay, so I'm gonna throw up some of these precepts because they're pretty hard. Christianity is the harlot. That's another one. Brother Yazidik, Revelation 6:2, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering to conquer. Somebody got the book of Maccabees. Go ahead and bring this up. Maccabees 3 and 4, 8 from Mr. Hey, Mr. Thorpe, how you doing, bro? Mr. Thorpe 69, how you doing, man? Where you been at? You probably been hanging out in them clubs like how Dov L was hollering about, and you need to get saved. Mr. Thorpe 69, you need to get saved. I see you hanging out at them clubs, hanging out with them youngins, doing what these youngins be doing. I don't know what they do. I'm an old head. I'll claim that. Mr. Thorpe, you need to get saved, bro. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Well,
let's see.
I got a prophecy they fulfill, but I want to wait and see if the chat got something. But I got one today.
Okay. It's not a trick question though. If somebody come with the one I got, man, they got a $25 cash out coming. Let's see, Sister Bo. Hey, Hal, you better jump in here, bro. You got the link. Jump in, Hal. Sister Bombo says, and they opened up the book and painted their likenesses. Con, they surely did that. Definitely book. They sure did do that.
I want to bring up an interesting. I want to bring up an interesting point because this is very interesting when you think about it. Because this is something that the Father had brought to my attention. Because we say that 70 A.D. is when the temple was destroyed, and the scriptures said that the dragon would be in prison for 1,000 years before he's released again. This is an interesting thing when you look at it. So if we go to 70 AD and we mark off those 1,000 years, you got 1,070. And if you look at the world wars that had increased upon the earth from BC time up until that 1,070 period, they exploded like exponentially, which is a very interesting thing that the Father had me to look at. That blew my mind. So that's something that's deep for people to check out if they want to look into. That's something very interesting that I found. How the amount of wars just from the BC time to 1070 AD. After that point, they just exploded like crazy. Wars just exploded.
That right there goes along with the 400-year prophecy, brother. Wow. One thing, I'm just going to say this, but that's not the main thing I say Christianity fulfill. But one thing they fulfill is the next 5 beasts that had us in slavery, which is Arab slave trade, 642 AD, Spain and Portugal, 1455 AD, Great Britain, English colonies, 1619 AD, America, 1776 AD. That's one thing that they fulfill, but that's not the one that exactly what I was talking about. It's another one they fulfill, and everybody will agree on.
I'm thinking that, Kadar, me and you might be on the same wavelength on this one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think me and you are on the same wavelength. And if you're on the same wavelength with me, we both need to go get saved. We need Jesus.
That's actually very good because a lot of people try to put it at 1619. America didn't have a finalized government until 1776, as you said. So, I wonder about that because if you actually look at it, 1634 is when Maryland actually codified the law in their books with slavery. So by that time, you had a government in place in Maryland that instituted that slavery would be. So, and if you read a lot of the documentation, they don't really know if the date was 1619. It goes all the way from 1619 to 1626. So the 1619 date is in flux. So it's not really something that's stable with the historians. So So I
Well,
always go ahead.
well, I don't think about the 1619. If you do research, if I'm not mistaken, if you look up the East African slave trade, because it will lead you all the way up to it. Because I used to live right near DC, the African Museum up there. Once you go online, look this up. 1619 is when 20 Africans actually came to Jamestown, so-called Africans, and you'll find out that it was coming off a Portugal Spain ship was intercepted by Great Britain, the colonists. In other words, they robbed them and they took our brothers and brought them to Jamestown in
Yeah.
1619.
But that's what I'm telling you, that particular date is not accurate. A lot of the historians are saying it could be as late as 1626 and not 1619 for those 20 Africans. So that's not, because it's actually, you can actually read it's a paper article in a paper where it was they have it marked at 1622. So, but I've seen other researchers say it could be as late as 1626 and not the 1619 date. That's what I'm trying to say. So that date is kind of iffy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I disagree with that, because if you look at older, I mean, I don't know what's the dates on what you're looking at, but you got to look at older books and older research. And I definitely 1619 stands alone, and it goes along with Revelations chapter 17, verses 11 through 9, or you can read it. It tells you that the eighth beast came out of the seventh. Great America came out of Great Britain. That's why the 400-year prophecy stands alone with the date.
I'll share with you. I think the brother may have some of my information on that, because I do have it, and it's from old documents. And like I said, this was from an old paper during that time, where that date, like I said, is in question. It could be as late. That's why I said they say it could be as late, because it was something I can't remember offhand, but it was something that transpired during that time period where that date could have happened because of something with the weather or something. I can't exactly recall exactly what it was, but they said because of whatever event that happened, that date is in question, and it would have had to have been at a later time period. So, but like I said, either the brother has it where he said he set up something. I think that may be in part of some of the documents that I sent to him, where, like I said, I'm not saying anything that, you know, I look at so much stuff. I'm telling you, and I look at verifiable things. I don't waste my time with mess. And like I said, that date is in flux. It's not really.
Well, if you bring the date, then go ahead and bring it, because we done went over this 1,000 times. So that's one of our specialties for your prophecy. So I guarantee you that date is not going to predate what I got.
Here's what I would say to the 1619 date. Okay, and this is one thing that's I always bring up that's commonly overlooked, and that's the Mayflower Compact.
Yes.
The Mayflower Compact was pinned in. I'm going to share my screen. We can take a look at that right quick. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we can take a look at it right quick. Let's see here. See if I got the right one. Share that. Okay, so the Mayflower Compact was what? The Mayflower Compact, originally titled Agreement between the settlers of New Plymouth, was the first governing document of the Plymouth colony, which was the original government of the I was going to say United States, but the United States of America. The signing of the Mayflower Compact was 1620. That's what they say. I've seen 1619, 1620, or somewhere thereabouts. And then they go into the reasoning of the compact. I'm not bringing this up so that we can go into the Mayflower Compact, but what I am suggesting is that they formed a government amongst themselves aboard a ship in 1620. And we probably need to research that date to see if that was so, because a lot of what they've given us has been trash, and we know that. So I'm gonna get back to these questions. So Are you guys convinced that a Christian can be an Israelite or vice versa, or you guys still need some convincing? Or you guys straddling the fence? And then an important question is this. This is really a question. Does Christianity teach the Father and Hamashiach? In other words, does Christianity teach you much about the Father? And they teach you about Hamashiach, but it's a odd version where he looks like a hippie heroin addict with stringy hair, and he looked like he done smoked up some meth, knowing that his daddy was a carpenter, knowing that if his daddy was a carpenter, he was a carpenter, and he more than likely was yoked up because he went in there and busted on the money changers. Couldn't have been a frail hippie doing that, right? Or maybe you could have. I don't know. Maybe you could have. So that's another question I have. And no one has still been able to tell me if you can separate the heinous acts that Christianity did from Christianity. Can those be separated? Yeah, a beach bum. He was looking like not Charleston Heston, but one of the Beach Boys, I guess, one of them. But anyway, okay. So here's a question I have. Here's a question. And it's not a trick question. I want you guys to really think about this question, fam. Please think about this. What is the purpose of Christianity? And if you got to answer, brothers on the panel, if you guys want to chime in, go ahead and answer that for me. What is the purpose of Christianity?
I believe what I shared earlier, white supremacy, Christo Corpus Corporatum, the beast system. White supremacy, we know what that is. Christo is Christian. Corpus is your body, and corporatum is business. So the business of making your black body an economic instrument for their
today.
And I agree with that.
Bro. Go ahead, Yash.
One is basically the purpose of Christianity is to separate the people of the Most High from His law.
Gone. And what the brother Dorvell said was spot on. Both of y'all spot on. Brother Kadar, what say you, bro? Before we turn it over to the fam. Okay, Brother Kadar, you can get back to us. Okay, so Besserah Messenger says to put one under a spell. Yahuwah's daughter of Zion says to keep us in confusion. Khan. And I'm gonna ask that question later, but this thing is operating on so many levels. It's mind-boggling. On every level we getting came at. We don't even know the levels that we getting came at.
Well, let me just add as well, because the whole purpose of Constantine, let's go back to Constantine. The reason why he wanted to make Christianity a part of his particular ruling religion was because he saw how it could bring people and the monies into because he's considered the first pope. Constantine is considered the first pope. The pontiff, what do they call it? Pontiff, whatever that Latin term is for the pope. He's the first pontiff as the pope. And he was very well known for collecting monies because he was actually killing a lot of the aristocrats and taking their properties and, dividing out to his particular, those who were faithful to him. So.
Yeah, he was and I'm gonna have to do the research that you got on if he was somebody that resembled me or not. But he was a cold entity, I tell you that. And for him, though, it had to have been more about just finances, right? He had to have been getting his leadership and guidance from somebody else that didn't even look like him, right? And what I mean by that is that what spirits he was dealing with.
Right. Well, they say Eusebius was his right hand, his confidant per se. He was very close to him. Eusebius was one of the, as they say, church fathers.
Right.
Yeah, he's and it's funny because Eusebius said he never told him that story about this cross in the sky and all that. So Eusebius said that was something that he was new when he spoke it to those people who he got to give his coffer money to. So that's interesting as well.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so let's get back to the, unless other brothers have comments to add, I'm going to get back to the comments. Image of Shiloh to win souls to Hashatan. And the question, the answers that we're looking at are from the question. What is the purpose of Christianity? And so T Trust Yah says deception. My Sultry Sound says the worship of Hashatan. The Ralph Wolf, division and segregation. These are awesome answers by y'all. Calvin Andrews says Real Morgan will be next door neighbors on the ships of Tarshish drinking Mai Tais. Okay. I ain't gonna say y'all need to get with Buddha. How about that? We switch it up. Okay. Yeah, Cha-Cha, yep. Okay, Sister Born Bowl says all white people not bad. Stick your hand in a bag of poisonous snakes. Okay. I'm not gonna say you need Buddha. Says you spot on as far as I'm concerned. To mislead Yasharal, Ralph Wolf to keep us asleep. Pontiff Maximus. I'm not sure what that's in Basora. I'm not sure
that's the name of the Pope. They were answering that question.
Pontiff Maximus. Okay. Maximus, yeah. Gotcha. See, y'all doing that high level thinking. And I'm I'm not trying to be Pontiff Maximus or what's that other name, that robot, Prime Maximus or whatever, Optimus Prime, whatever he was. Anyway, I'm going off the deep end. Okay, so he also had a dream of seeing the cross in the sky. So Real Morgan rock with what you've been rocking with, Dorvell. Y'all on the same wavelength. Kevin Garrard, greetings and shalom. None of that matters. Our ancestors were not Christians, period. We were killed, pressured, and a host of other atrocities, period, because of who we are. Envy, jealousy, they hate the Most High. I agree with you. It doesn't matter. However, it's good for us to know our history so that we don't repeat it, right? Because guess what? We're in a cycle right now of repeating what happened during the 20s and 30s. But one thing that most don't realize is that during that time, the Great Depression, our people were very, very prosperous. And we're entering into that time now. So if you understand your history and understand not only your history, but how that relates to our ancestors, and then how that also relates to what the Father promised, right? And we should have an understanding of what the enemy is doing, contrary to popular belief, and why we should have an understanding of what the enemy is doing and what he has done, because we can see his playbook and we can see what his moves are going to be in the future, if that makes sense. I like playing chess, not that I'm any good or anything like that. I like Texas Hold'em too. I love playing chess. And this whole game is 8D. The Father's playing 8D chess, and we sitting around playing tiddlywinks, and we're not even playing what's that, tic-tac-toe. Father playing 8D, our enemy is playing 4D, and we playing tic-tac-toe. Right?
You got to stay with checkers, man. You can't go to a whole different game.
Hey, that's all I got, man.
Hey, Brother Cleo, I never did tell you that one of the prophecies of Christianity have fulfilled. Isaiah 66:4.
Read it out.
You can read it out. I can pull it up right here, right quick, but Isaiah 66:4.
Go ahead, bro.
Hold on, let me get to it right quick. That's a prophecy that they fulfilled, and I guarantee you, everybody will agree with me. And it's a precept to it in the New Testament, but I'm gonna start with the Old.
Okay, you go ahead and bring it out, bro.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get the one that I got since nobody came with it. I'm gonna give one last shot, and then I'm gonna spoiler alert them.
Oh look, I gotta get that $100 cash out. You said right.
Man, I said $25 cash out to whoever called this prophecy that they fulfill. And y'all gonna be like, oh man, that's too simple. And they definitely because we've been talking about it all day. That's all we've been talking about, how they what they are, and how big. I'll give a clue how big they are. How's that?
Eat them. Anyway, so
Somebody already said that. No.
Isaiah
No, that's not it. Anyway, bring your precept, bro.
Isaiah 6:6 says, and also I will show their delusion and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer, and when I spoke, they did not hear. So let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 11. This is a prophecy that same thing what Paul is talking about. So when people read 2 Thessalonians, they got to understand that it's coming from Isaiah 66. 2 Thessalonians 2. Man, this phone ain't acting right. I should have had my Bible here. I'm pulling up on the phone, but y'all should know. Okay, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 11. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. And for this cause, well, I'm starting at verse 10. Well, I can just read it. Look. And for this cause, God will send them a strong delusion that they shall what? Believe a lie. And that's what Christianity, Islam is, and other religions that we have, that our people are in. They believe a lie. And that prophecy came out of Isaiah 4:66 and 4, which is being fulfilled now. And 2 Thessalonians is verse 11 is telling us, is showing us what's going on as we speak today. They believe a lie. This is a strong delusion. The Most High said He would send them. Why? Because in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, let us know, my people perish or destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Why? Because they reject truth. That's what's going on today. So that's one of the prophecy that Christianity has fulfilled.
Indeed. And I want to just Kevin Garrard. We are repeating because it was not time to leave yet. There have been periods in history when, yes, we did prosper, but the curses were on repeat. I say kind to what you're saying, and I agree with that 100%, bro. You are 100% correct. So last call. Then the question was, what prophecies have Christians fulfilled? And I'm going to give mine in a minute after we read this from Calvin Andrews. Calvin says, in Greek letters, all 7 names of the Pope of Rome equals 666 in Roman numerical values. I got the receipts. And there's probably some truth to that. I've actually seen that before. So what the whole market, and so that alludes to the mark of the beast and the beast system and all of those kinds of things. And so what the beast is and what the beasts are, the other brother Kadar has done a good lesson on that. But here's what I will say. Our eschatology has been off because of mainstream Christianity and us accepting those tenets and what they've given us. And so what I would recommend everybody do, and what the brother Dorvell has been saying, is we need to go back and look at that anew with different eyes, with the eyes of etymology. But even before we even look at them with etymology, we look at them with the eyes of I'm Israel now. And I'm not saying that you guys wouldn't do that. I'm just saying we need to rethink and look at everything, because everything that we've been fed has been a lie. It has been. I mean, I'm not going to get into flat earth, round earth, curved earth, concave, convex earth, or anything like that. But I can guarantee you this, and I'll put everything I own on it. The sun is not billions and millions of miles away, nor is the moon. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all can figure that one out. So the prophecy that I know that they fulfill is in Matthew, and nobody won the $25 cash app. So the next time I ask a question, it's gonna be $50. All right, we're gonna keep building on. So the precept that I have that they fulfill is Matthew 7:13 and 14. And if you have your sacred scroll, you can get. I'm going to go ahead and read it now. Enter ye in at the straight gate. And this is verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there by which go in thereat. 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So Christianity fulfills the broad gate of destruction. Point blank, period. There's no way that you can have 45,000 different denominations and 2.5 billion adherents and be the largest religion, and you conquer people, conquered nations for time immemorial with your religion, and you not be the broad way that leadeth to destruction. Point blank, period.
Brother Cleo, I cannot believe I didn't get that because you said
I
this.
thought you was on that one, bro.
You said that 1,000 times, and I didn't. I would have got that $100, man.
Man, you keep pumping up to 100. You're a trip. I think me and you got to do some kind of business venture or something. I'm gonna have you be the negotiator and all that.
Hey, you know what's funny in all that is when I was in Christianity, even though because like I say, I started out in the truth and then went into Christianity. But anyway, even when I was in,
Oh, what happened to the brother? He just kind of went out there.
Yeah, he dropped out.
Okay. Yeah, he dropped out. Okay, so my sultry sound. Revelation 17:4-5 speaks of Christianity as the woman arrayed in purple and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones, great harlot. Okay, that's a good precept. Bring Yash back in. Go ahead and continue, brother Yash.
I knocked myself out. But I was saying when I was in Christianity, that scripture was always there in the forefront. I used to say, I used to know that. I'm like, how can I used to tell them this is everybody thinks they say, but that's where their spirituality comes in. That's where part of that deception is. Well, that's when if someone has a behavior that's unacceptable in the forefront to them, that's where they say, well, they're not real Christians. And that's how they're able to stay and be billions of people while everyone in their mind is thinking that, well, they're saved while others can't. It's like some kind of a disconnect, but that's why I said it's a form of witchcraft.
You know what? One of the things that I find that's fascinating is the fact that they believe that they're the moral right and that they should be controlling everything on the earth. And that they're much different than, let's say, Islam. When, per my studies, Islam comes out of Catholicism. But that's a whole nother one.
Well, not only that, and that's why I threw in that Revelations verse, because they went forth conquering and they conquer first. They're the ones who have the king that sits on a white horse in the white robe. Who wears a crown.
I don't know how they can figure. Okay, here's another question for Christianity. Okay, so you conquered the whole world, you've done all these heinous acts, and yet you're going to magically get raptured up. The KKK was hanging our people left and right, and they still doing it to this day, from what I understand. But you're going to get raptured up, right? You're going to disappear, and he going to take you away, and you're gonna go and go, be in the air and be with the Lord. I put that in quotes because I really never used that term. There's something off with that. The Solar Messenger says the sun is not 93 million miles away. I thought they sent someone out to measure with the 25-foot tape measure. Listen, there's no way that it could be that far away. It's not possible. And also the phenomena of them being perfect circles and one passing in front of the other one to cause an eclipse. That's another phenomena that, okay, if they're so far away from each other, how can one eclipse the other one so perfectly when they do a line like that, right? And it's not to say that they're the same size, because I don't know if they're the same size or not, but I know that according to the book, one is a he and one is a she, which means that there probably are something living potentially. Which that's a whole different conversation. I don't want to get into that.
Well,
So,
they have to be the same size or they couldn't eclipse each other.
Not from 19 miles away, and then the other one is what?
Well, they say the moon is 25,000 miles away, but
Right.
you can with your naked eye see craters on the moon. So you mean I can see 25,000 miles away, but I can't see 10 miles down the road?
when the human eye can only identify, what is it, 30 miles out, and that's it, then everything turns to blur.
Right.
So there's a see that's further proof that everything that they've been pushing on us has been a lie, which we got to go back, and somebody posted it earlier, and I'm gonna post that comment. Yes, we need to understand the end times from a new mindset. Yes, we do. Our eschatology has completely changed. And then I'm gonna tell you what, if you get into what Dorvell has been pushing about word etymology, and I've always been telling the family, hey, look, when you look at words, when you look at the word, look at it and get the definition of it and decode it. He done brought it to a whole nother level. To look at where that came from.
Let me slip in a couple of little quick nuggets here.
Help yourself.
Whenever you see the word colonial, what word is in colonial? Colon.
Oh,
so that's excrement. So everywhere that they went excrementing on people, setting up their little colonies.
Well, not only that, everywhere they went, they turned the land into excrement.
Correct. So, and then you look at the word. See, we not only do you look at the prefix, the whole word, but you look at the prefix and the suffix, and you etymologize those as well. So when you look at the word world, there's two words in world. What two words are in world? You got W-O, which we know as woe, and then you got R-L-D. You could put an O in between that, R-O-L-D, so you get woe rolled. Isn't that what goes around the world? Woe, they take woe around the world.
Wow. That's wild. That's wild right there. That's wild. Okay, I'm gonna read this. We're gonna talk offline more than likely tomorrow, because that's interesting commentary. Bessel Messenger says Christianity is the strong delusion and many have found it. Huh? That's true. Let's see here. They're going to my sultry sound says they're going up to party with the zigzag man. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the zigzag man is the guy on weed wrappers, the weed wrapper paper, and I don't smoke nothing. I'm prefacing that, but I'm not gonna say that I didn't at one time. That was when I was a child. I acted as a child. I spoke as a child. I did childish things, but I had to put away those things. So I'll put away those things decades ago, right? But the zigzag man looks like the fake Hamashiach that was on the cross. So that's why we code named him the zigzag man, right?
Brother, I really got a lot of research on that one.
Well, you know what you're going to have to do now?
Cannabosum is what they used in the temple. Okay? Cannabosum is what they used in the temple. And there was a group of Jews along Ethiopia called Bashalinga, and they were known for smoking weed heavy.
Wow.
And you got to look at it. Cannabis and cannibal, that's the same word. Okay? So you got to look at when people are coming who didn't speak your language, who think they're smarter than you, and they see you eating a lot because you had the munchies. Oh, you a cannibal. You a cannibal because you got the munchies.
That's funny on like 10 levels. and y'all in the comment section, y'all know y'all ain't been saved all y'all life. I done already admit it, but like I said, for me, it's been easily over 3 decades, easily, right? Since I even thought about doing that. Let me get Real Morgan. Welcome, brother. This is my first time, I think, either noticing you or seeing you. Welcome to Salt of the Earth, brother. And your comments have been spot on and on point. And family, just remember that this is your house. Salt of the Earth is your house. There's no man in charge. I mean, we do have order. Don't get me wrong, but this is really a place for the family to come and congregate and discuss issues and to get the truth. That's what we trying to get to. We're trying to get to why we so jacked up, and we know that the books say that the Most High was going to put a number on us, and quite frankly, He did put a number on us. He put it on us, and He whooped our behind. Period. But now we coming back to Him, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing when you can say, or when I always say, He say in the book, I would yet choose Israel. That's a powerful thing right there. Out of all our ancestors did, and out of all we went through, we can call on our Father, and He hear us. He hear our cries right now. You think He don't see what's going on with this wicked nation that we in? You think He don't see all these laws that they've done constructed and trying to construct against us to further destroy us? He see all of that. That's why He checking them right now. Have you guys noticed that every turn they take now, they getting checked? He playing 8D, 9D, 10D, 11D, 12D chess. A man could barely play a 1D chess. And he playing 24D chess with these nations. So your comment is spot on, brother. I see these Christians in comments. They think Jesus is coming now and it's the end of the world. They do. They want it to be the end because what it really the end of is the end of their reign of terror on the earth. That's what it is. It's the end of that. It's time out for that. And we should be thankful that the Most High said it's time out for it. Because I know I'm tired of them. I'm tired of the heathens. I'm tired of the heathens being in charge because they are lousy at it. They lousy at it. They got the water towed up. They got the air towed up. The air that we breathe is finished. The water that we drink is towed back. We got to filter it 5 times, then reverse osmosis, then put it in a big burger, then reverse osmosis again. Then maybe you can drink it if you haven't boiled it.
Apples and oranges don't taste like they used to taste, and I'm like hating them.
Man, the oranges got that like white, like non-pulpy taste to them.
Yeah.
Apples, they always have that wax. Although pink ladies are point. Pink ladies taste like candy. If you could find,
they ain't juicy. They just, apples are supposed to be juicy when you bite into them. It's like,
right.
Don't have no flavor. I'm like,
man,
get watermelons. I ain't had a good watermelon in years.
Oh man.
I'll say this though, over the last couple of years past, there was a time where the Most High was putting down some awesome fruit a couple of years ago, because and typically, fam, you want to get the fruit that has seeds in it. You don't want to get the seedless fruit because that's been tampered with. But the watermelon with them black seeds and black and white seeds in it that y'all be spitting out, but you should be chewing and eating them and swallowing them. Man, the watermelons were so sweet. The pineapples was on point. The cantaloupes was on point. This year's fruit was kind of iffy to me. It was kind of like, you know what, this is it's not really that good.
Now come on, brother. Now, you say you were the same age range as me now, okay? You
Uh,
know, good and well, mama and them told them girls not to swallow no watermelon seeds because they might get pregnant, okay?
okay, okay, you're right about that. But for me, as I got okay, so I'm guilty of doing that too. But as I got older, what I started doing was I start eating the pits out of um, the different fruits. Like if you ever eaten a peach pit, or the pits that come out of these like lemon seeds and the different seeds and whatnot, because they're bitter. And I probably need to do it more often, but I do that because just what I learned about how bitter works, and how that works on our system and on our body. It kind of like does something. And I'm not a herbologist or nothing like that. I'm not trained in nothing like that. I'm just going by instinct. Okay, so we're gonna read a couple more of these comments, then we're gonna close out because we're over 2 hours. Real Morgan. Okay, I hopped on with Brother Banya. Yeah, that was a good discussion last night, bro. That was a really good discussion. I actually caught it this morning, and Brother Banya, he turned it a quick hitter, but when the spirit be going, like Brother Doris said, when it's organic, it's like you really can't control it. You just got to let the spirit work, and then whatever it becomes, that's what it is, right? Um, so I appreciate you, Rio. You welcome in anytime, and when you see the link dropped in, matter of fact, family, you guys know this is your house. So anytime the link is dropped in, any family member that want to jump on and speak your piece, if you got something to say that's related to the conversation that we're having, you're more than welcome to jump in because this is your house, salt of the earth. We are all salt of the earth, and we just trying to get to the truth. My sultry sound says, imagine they think there's no consequences for the savagery. Exactly. Exactly. You can go and do all the wicked, heinous acts to people, get away with murder, steal everything from them, take all their ideas and their intellectual properties, don't give them a cent, promise them land, don't give it to them. I could keep going on and on and on. We all know what that is. We know that. Okay, now, because we know all of the savagery, can we quote what's coming to us? And not from a perspective of, okay, yeah, we got that coming because they took it. No, what say the Father about what we got coming and what they got coming? Book say pour for her double. Y'all say that means pour for her quad. So you get 2 times 2. Huh? But if you could quote me that, can you quote me and tell me, okay, what does the Father say about Deuteronomy 30 and what we got coming to us? Or if you prescribe to the 400 year, Genesis 13, 12 through 15, what does that say?
But we wasn't there. We had nothing to do with that.
Man, come on, come on. You sound like me now because I'm always playing the advocate. Paula Lawrence says the fruit here in Australia used to be delicious, juicy, just like it is in the Caribbean. Not anymore. You know why? That's because people like Bill Hates, or no, Kill Hates. People like him have bought up the land and they flipped it. They making hybrid fruit. It looks like what it used to be, but it's not that. It's something completely different. And they doing everything that the Father told them not to do. He don't want you mixing and taking seeds out of things the way that he created it. You done created a monstrosity. And who knows what that does to your system. But I digress. We grow our own. That's awesome, Calvin. Hey, Calvin, that's awesome. The hope is for, I wish all of Israel was in this position, and at some point we will be. Because I believe that a lot of what we should be seeing, I believe in my spirit, I'm going to see a lot of it. I really do, because prophecy is being fulfilled right now, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. It's totally being fulfilled, from the shutdowns to COVID to what's happening with the heathen to our fulfilling prophecy being here. So there's a lot of eschatology that's being fulfilled. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's see here. I'm gonna read a couple more of these comments, then we go sign out. Paula Lawrence said, "Seedless these days." Yeah, if you can find it, Paula. Definitely go with the seedless stuff. Sister Born Bold says, "Yep, bitter is best." Yeah, that's what I tend to lean towards for the most part. But that doesn't say that I don't be gobbling down stuff that I ought not, because I'm not gonna get into that. But because we spend time on that. Okay, so I think the family has come to the conclusion that I've come to. I have one last question before we sign off, and I'm gonna leave this with the family to think about, because really, family, everybody in the chat, the brothers on the panel, the brothers that have left the panel, and Salt of the Earth, and really all the brothers, all the Israelite camps, all the Israelite teachers worldwide, all of Israel, period, the churches, whatever, just Israel. I'm focusing on those people that talk about and say that they Israelites and walk the walk and talk the talk, right? Now, getting this knowledge and information is one thing, but we have to be able to share it and give it to our family. So the last question that I have is that what can we do for our family members that are still under the Christian paradigm? And I'm gonna ask that to the brothers on the panel first, and then we're gonna close out with we gonna close out. This is something for you to think about. How can the information that I'm getting from all of my Israelite brethren, no matter who they be, and it could be other channels. I love Pastor Kelly. That's my brother. I can't wait to meet him. And I love all the other brothers too, because those are my brothers. And you will never hear me. And I preach this. You will never hear me. You put a mic in front of my face. I will never say nothing disparaging about any of my family, because that's what the enemy want us to do. We fight in this world on many levels, fam, and so we have to conduct ourselves appropriately. So I'm gonna ask the brothers in the panel. Then we're gonna sign off. What can we do for our family members still under this Christian paradigm? Brother Yash, you can go first, bro.
Well, my family, first of all, I pray about that every day, because that's the question I even asked the Most High that this morning. But I know my family, they have this page, and I haven't posted on it in a while. It was called Barry Family Corner, but I posted all the information that I could do on that information there. I posted it on the family page. I posted on my Facebook page. And basically all I could do is basically tell them. But when you say family, right now I'm talking about immediate family. But as far as Israel is my family, so really basically the best I can do, and really the only thing I can do, is when I meet brethren, I talk to them one-on-one. If this, I try the spirit, but I really basically talk to them one-on-one. And if they got a little bit of anger in them, then I can get the truth out. You know what I mean? If they talk, if they say something sideways to test me, that like I know that they ain't feeling the atmosphere, that's how I get it out and tell them, listen, we the people of the book. And then I just run down and in layman's terms give them the truth. But that's pretty much the best I could do. Other than that, I pray, because I really don't know.
Brother Dorville,
Yes.
what can we do for our family members still under this Christian paradigm?
My experience, can't do nothing for them. And that's the truth. I'm just keep it real. That's the truth. You can't do anything for them. If you didn't hear the voice, you weren't called. If it's one out of a family that's saved, big ups to Yah. You got one out of the family. And that's how I see it. That's how I notice it's going in my family, because even though they do seem like they turn, then they turn right back to Christianity again. So what can you do? It's nothing you could do. I've shared with them. They see it. Like I said, it seems like they turn, but then they turn back because they want to be part of the club. They want the club scene.
Yeah, that club scene is really, 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 really heavy amongst our people, because we so want to be accepted. because we've been beaten down so bad that we need to belong to something. That's just our how we're designed. So, Brother Door, I really appreciate you coming on, brother. You've been a blessing to me, and with all the information that you've been dropping, and hopefully we'll be able to share all of that information that you've given us. You're a walking encyclopedia, bro, and I really appreciate you. And you're welcome to come on anytime we have a live or anytime we're doing what we do, because this is a family gathering and this is our fellowship. And so you're more than welcome, brother. Brother Yash, as usual, brother, you know I love you. I love you too, Brother Dorvel. Brother Yash, it was great having you on as usual. And I hope to see you all tomorrow. Family, guess what? It's time for us to pack it in. So this has been another Salt of the Earth
I see my
production.
phone number.
It's like